Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray and today we continue our entry level to Megabase, where in the last episode just got this beauty of a setup up and running with our solar panels and accumulators that actually filled up extremely quickly. So in today's episode we will try and make a solar/accumulator grid or power plant with the perfect ratio of 0.84 accumulators per solar panel. So if you think that's a cool idea, do remember to leave a like on the video, and if you're new to the channel, do remember to subscribe as well. And with that, let's get on with that designing. So I've made a little area here where we can start to design what we want to do and try to make it as symmetrical as possible. So the way I want to do it is I want to have it inside this little robot grid here, so we can just fit it in with the rest of our train grid going forward. So for example, we can just keep going out this way with it to expand out and gather new land in case we need to go and explore for resources. And we'll still have all the infrastructure ready to move out and get new ore, coal and such. So the first thing I normally start with is to make sure we have coverage all over the place in terms of what's it called, power. So I've been playing a bit around with this to try to get a feel for it, and a way I thought of doing it is if you do these here right at the middle of the row ports on both sides like that, and then place one in between. As you can see, right here is very much in the middle. Then if we have this, then we can take both view. We can then flip it, because we know it'll line up. Flip you here, flip you here, and add one right in the middle. And as simple as that, we have a nice coverage for all of the things you want here in the middle. Now the next thing you normally do when figuring out this is you have two things to think about. One, you need to get the ratio correct, and two, do you want it to look pretty or not? One, I want to get pretty close to the ratio, at least as close as I can. And two, I might not make it look very pretty the first time, so that's why I want you guys to maybe design one that's prettier for me, that can fit inside our train grid. So firstly, let's just check what we can fit inside here. What I normally do is just try and drag these across to see. And that has one empty spot. That means we can't have an entire solar panel row. The next thing I try is just look at what if we take accumulators instead. So take you across. That seems to be able to fit in. And since we have it right in the middle, that means that if you do one next to it, we'll be able to fit in as well. So why don't we do that? Just copy it around a few times. So now we have the outside one. That is 92 accumulators. That means we'll need quite a few more. To be precise, we'll need 92 divided by 0.84. Means we need at least 109.52 solar panels to supply this throughout the day. So let's see if we can't fill in solar panels. We do it here. Let's just try and get as many down as we can. Oh, it seems we can have them here as well. So let's grab you. That fits in pretty nicely. What if we just continue down this way, just to see how many this gives us? Can't fit any there. None there, and that lines up. So now we have 180 solar panels. That means we have, if we have 180 times 0.84, means we'll need at least 151 accumulators to fill all of this in. So let's try and see. Oh, they fit in pretty nicely here. Oh. Let's just try and fill all of this in and see how many that actually gives us in terms of accumulators. How many is this gonna be? Can we steal this then? Just plop it in right there. And then up here we'll have to do it like that. That is fine. we'll just get our robots to fill it in, hopefully not trapping us in the process. That is pretty much filled in how much we can have it. And that is 98 to 180 solar panels. So you're way over cap on accumulators. What if we remove a few from the side? That gives us room for a few solar panels. Let's try the same on the other side, just to make it look somewhat pretty. Let's do the same down here. I think we're still way off. Let's not get trapped in here. Let me out, please. There we are. Let's go to the opposite side. We can pretty much just do it with robots. And how many do we have now? Now we have 188 to 74. That's still too many. So how can we add in more solar panels to this? What if we take out that one and that one? And we should be able to fit in 2 because we saw that before. Now we have 192 to 62. 192 times 0.84. That's 161.28. So with this ratio, if we do 161.28 divided by 192. Yeah, 168. That gives us pretty much 0.84 in this design in terms of having the correct ratio. So why don't we try and go with this? This is pretty much the perfect ratio, and that is what I want to do first. And then leave it at that. We do have a bit of space above here, but I'll leave it to you guys to maybe design a new power grid for the future. You can always post that on Discord if you want to. You can of course also grab this one if you want to. If you do that, and that, because make sure it fit in, that means we have a nice power grid now. With, if you look here, 768 and 648. Oh, 700, sorry. 768. We take 768 times 0.84. It gives us 645.12. Right here we have 648. So I say we're about 3 off the perfect ratio, but I can live with that. I think that's pretty good. So why don't we keep that as a current blueprint going forward? If you need this blueprint, I will save it in the blueprint book and leave it on Discord. You guys to grab it and do give you inputs about a new way to design that. It could be a little fun community challenge. Who can make the prettiest accumulator, solar panel setup. Of course, you are allowed to go all the way to the edge. For example, go building down here as well, as long as it stays inside one of these grids. You can also remove what's it called, the train stops if you don't need it. But I'll see what you guys come up with, if it's better than what we have here. So now we are able to just place down these all over the world, start to generate the power. 16 megawatts of 100% free power. And since we have about 4,000, and this one only requires 700, that means we can put down about 5 or 6 of these at a time. About 6, maybe even 7, 6 or 7. That's a 6 at a time, and then empty out our entire stockpile back at our production area over here. Plus we do have 4.8k. So now that we have this, there's a few things I want to get done. We have all of our old power plants, and when you get into solar, there's a few things you need to tweak a bit. And one is you don't want your steam engines to run as long as there is a charge in the accumulators. So these should all be turned off until we are at a certain point in our storage. So the way I normally do it is, for example, let's go down here and start at this one. I normally use a bit of circuitry to get it done, and there's a few different ways to doing it. I don't know if mine is the best way, but I enjoy doing it like that. And I'll also make sure that that massive water drain we have at the moment down here can get solved. So what I normally do to make sure these don't just run, because as you can see right now, water is completely empty. Almost nothing in storage. These are just running full speed. Is that I take an accumulator. I place it down right next to belts, for example, right here. Then I grab a green circuit from here to there. So right now this is outputting a signal A from 1 to 100. I can show you if I do it up here. It's at 95 cents, 100, because now it's full. It means this one is 100. And the way I want to do it is that if A is less than, let's say, 30%. If it's less than 30, this will open up, letting coal through, and making sure that these actually work. I'll take the same little setup, I wonder if I can do this, over here. Setting that up. As you can see, it's open right now because A is less than 30. Now it's closed. And then we're sure that this is not spending any water or anything until this is until it's needed. So this is actually now a massive battery. At least something to make sure we have some power to keep recharging. Let's just disconnect you. So this is quite important to do at the old steam engines to make sure you don't drain them, especially if you do something like this. Because now that we have this, we are able to actually just copy paste this around and have a nice setup that can get have water get delivered in, but never spend any water or coal for that matter until our solar can't keep up. So we have this. We have one other one over here. Pretty much same setup. Let's just go and fix it. Let's take a little train over there. Not really needed, but then we're sure it's not in the way. Because that is so good, having all of those. So let's flip around here. There we are. Let's get a few more accumulators. We can have one on the inside and on the inside. We do need to get a power pole next to it, so that is easy to solve. There and there, looking very nice. Green wire from here to there. Set you to less than, if A is less than 30. You'll turn off. We could in theory offset these so this one will start at 40 instead. Because this one has a water supply a bit closer. So let's set this as 40. Just for the fun of it. Place you over here. That. A is less than 40, this will start. So this one will start working before this one down here. As this one is a lot more intensive on the base. But as you can see, now all this is closing down. The power is starting to get more and more power just from solar. And it will enable us to expand out our base even more. Now that we have this set up. Why don't we get a new solar grid down over here? I think that'll be the best. So let's just get this land filled in. Thank you. Let's copy the little solar grids we have made so far. So take you. Now I'd like to copy this one. I'd like to remove every train stop there's here. I want to remove pipes for stuff from over here. Pumps, that one, pipe. Those two, and I think the rest is everything is connected to this one. let's call this 0.4, oh, 0.84 accumulators to solar. And we can then stamp this down wherever we need it. Into the blueprint book with you for future things. And let's try and stamp a few down. That will be built in between episodes, but we can design where I want them to go. Because now we can just expand out like this. It will slowly get built. Let's just do, let's see what we have here. That's fine. It'll always be a straight line. Let's just get one. One is fine for now. We can also do one up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this has to be a depot corner. We could in theory just get a depot down over here for future expansion. Is that correct? 1, 2, 3 in between. Yeah. Get another depot down here to handle whatever we want to build over this side. There goes all our robots trying to keep up their job. So is there anything else we want to set up in this episode? We could in theory get the solar down here as well. Because we do need the coal outputs. I might not want to do that. And we could do it here and just remove a few things. Or actually just here and remove the bottom one. Oh well, but that is pretty much the setup we have. And now we're building it. It will get done at some point. Having a nice amount of solar and a new depot set up for future use. So I think in between episodes I'll just go and turn this one off as well. So this also starts maybe even sooner than the ones in the base, maybe at 50% over here. Just because that is it's a bit better. This is one I want to get cleared out. So do comment what you think about this little setup. If it looks good in any way. I don't know what it looks like. It looks pretty decent. The power poles looks very, very good. Quite surprised about that. So hopefully you'll leave a little comment on this one to tell me what you think. And also remember to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as I said, jump on Discord, get this blueprint, make your own. Let's see who can make the most beautiful solar grid setup. This is the best I can do on short notice, but we'll keep refining it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I've been Dgray, and I'll see you next episode. Bye, guys.